Arvind is asking, can passive pending orders affect the price of the instrument? Mm, well, if you have that book map or you have a knowledge of where the pending orders are, then it will affect the behavior of the traders who have that knowledge, and that ultimately can affect the price, but not directly. Ankit is saying joined late due to power cut. Will watch the video, sure. Sridhar is saying how both aggressive buy orders and aggressive sell orders be present at the same price level. They are present at the same price level, but they were executed at different times. I'll tell you how it is possible. Let's say you are plotting a 15-minute order flow chart, okay? And this is a ladder chart. You have these different price levels, all right? Okay, so this is a 15-minute bar. So price comes at this level, and in this box, as we see, for Nifty we are using, let's say, 140 as our brick size for market profile. So one fourth of that is 35, you know is the uh, or let's say 30 is the box size for our order flow chart. And if it is 30, then we know that each box size is of the height of 1.5 points. So let's say market stays in this 1.5 points for 2 minutes of that 13 minute of that 15-minute bar. So there will be multiple orders that will be executed in these 2 minutes within this 1.5 height box. So some of them will be aggressive sell orders and some of them will be aggressive buy orders. All right. That is how they can be present at the same time, at the same level. Suresh is saying, sir, how does order flow help us in making decisions or correlating to MP or VSA? Well, Suresh, you'll have to wait for that, for some time, because we need to cover some more things before we can come to a level where we can correlate order flow and market profile. Nilesh is saying bid and ask price will always be limit orders. Yeah, those that are shown on the uh, market depth window of your broker terminal, they are always the limit orders. Murugavel is saying open interest map on any site. It contains both pending orders and executed orders. Open interest map. Well, I have not seen that. I am hearing it for the first time. But if this is an open interest from futures and options data, the same open interest that is available for futures and options contract, then those are also executed orders. Those are not pending orders. Sanjay sir is saying, didn't understand the statement. How come data showed in sell is not always sell and vice versa? Yeah, for that, you will have to come to tomorrow's session. The reason I am not giving you all the technical details in the first session is because I want you to go through whatever I talked about order flow, which basically for some traders is absolute nonsense because it is not required. All they want is a trading setup or tips and tricks how to use order flow chart to make all the money, right? But we are not doing that. Okay, so I urge you, I'll try to post it as early as possible, first thing tomorrow morning, and then you go through that and then you let me know, and then I will give you all the technical details. By the time we finish this order flow course, you will have much better understanding of what it actually means. Nilesh is saying order flow chart will show market as well as limit orders. Order flow chart will show you executed orders. Every executed order must have one side as market order. Let's say 10 lots are executed. It will have a buy side and a sell side. One of this has to be a market order. Both can be market orders. One of the two has to be a market order. the other one can be limit order. So an order flow chart will show an executed order, and one side will always be market order, the other side can be limit orders. So all executed orders will be shown on the chart. Does not matter whether they were placed as a market order or a limit order. But if you are asking me whether the uh, market depth window, whatever is showing there, the limit orders that are showing there that are not yet executed, will those show on an order flow chart? No. Unless and until they get executed, they won't show up on an order flow chart. Murguel, no, you are talking about open interest. It is not pending orders. It is executed orders. Please understand. Sharon is saying, didn't clearly understood the difference between market depth and order book. You will. Listen to this again. Still don't understand? Obviously, we are going to clarify that. Yes, yes, yes. Abhishek is saying, Dean, order flow or market depth pending order. Have you come across misleading info due to algos? I think there is a huge order continuously fired and cancelled by, that happens. That absolutely happens. Sometimes they place in big orders. Okay. And once a small portion of it is executed, they cancel the rest of the one. All that things they happen. All goes do that. Jay Chandra is saying, will you please explain what is a passive order? A limit order is a passive order. If you are ready to wait till the price comes to your order price level, then it is a limit order and it is a passive order. Mohan is saying, sir, only we have to order flow charts near important reference. Yes, absolutely. Venkatesh is saying, Dean, you mentioned earlier as a part of AMT that auction will start advertising higher prices to find sellers. Yes. What do we exactly mean by advertising here? Like prices will start moving higher. Okay. Prices will start going higher. Now, as I said, there are multiple time frames active. So by the time it moves from a lower price to higher price, it will get traded continuously. But the auction is looking for bigger orders. Orders which can stop the move and start a sideways phase. All right. So that is what I mean when I say that, auction is advertising higher prices to find sellers. And is that smart money would manipulate the prices and advertise for higher prices? Yes, they do. Like it happens in case of a stop hunt. Like it happens in case of an inventory adjustment break. What happens in an inventory adjustment break? Prices fall sharply. But do they turn? No. Smart money uses them to accumulate long positions. And once all the short-term traders are thrown out of the market, the trend resumes. False advertisements, false promises happens all the time in the market. Suresh is saying, but sir, there is a software of pending order available to FII and institutional called Bloomberg, which costs a bomb. Yes. They can see 200 pending orders. Yes. And the software is called as a book map, which plots all the pending orders. Yes, absolutely. Vishnu is saying, if one is sure of a directional flow, is there any use of placing a limit order or placing a market order is equally good? Well, that does not have to do with what you are sure of or not of. Like let's say you are in the markets, you put in a stop loss. What is that stop loss? If you have your original position is a buy position, the stop loss is a market sell order with a trigger price. So the moment your stop loss is hit, you are actually sending a market sell order in the market. It does not matter what you think of the direction or of markets in general. If your stop loss is hit, you are an aggressive seller. More to come, obviously, but that's what I'm trying to say here. Sridhar is saying, can it be used effectively for slightly higher time frames? Like, I believe that it works on smaller time frames much better than it works on higher time frames. And since as you move higher, as you go to short swing, as you go to long swing time frames, we are talking about days of data. Imagine on an intraday basis itself, it is overwhelming to trade based on order flow chart. Imagine looking at 10 days of charts and trying to make sense of what order came when, whether it was aggressive or not, whether it was smart money or not, you can use other charts like VSA, like market profile, to easily make sense of what is happening in the market. So why do you need a chart which gives you tons and tons of information in a very short period of time? It will only confuse you, right? Too much information. So I would not suggest that. Nilesh is saying, as you say, order flow chart shows executed orders, then can we be able to differentiate which are market and which are limit order? As I said, every order executed has one order as a market order. Either buy or sell, one has to be a market order. Otherwise, a order cannot be matched. Two limit orders will never match with each other. It has to have one as a market order. Only then you will get an executed trade. How is this possible? How this happens? That comes tomorrow. Suresh is saying, so smart money will usually have limit order. Yet they have both. Depends on what situation they are trading in, what their objective is, will decide whether they will put in a they will put in a limit order or a market order. Praveen is saying, what happens if there are two limit orders, one buy and one sell matching? It cannot match. I will tell you why tomorrow. Amod is saying, Dean, all the analytical instruments that we are studying, may it be MPVS or order flow, all of them plot the action of market after it has happened. So what do you want? Do you want a crystal ball which will tell you what is going to happen? If you're just stating the fact, then you're absolutely right. But if you are trying to find something more, that is something that will tell you what is going to happen, there is no such thing, and you are going in a completely wrong direction. Information which has happened gives you plenty of value, plenty of time to execute your orders. Don't think that you need to predict or anticipate prices to make money. Wrong path to go down. Maybe at this moment you may not realize it, but say after 3 years, 5 years, when you realize that what mistake you are making, you will have lost a lot of money. And mental peace and anxiety, all those are bonus if you go down the wrong path. Sanjay sir is saying, sir, the data shows order flow is point in time data. How come higher time frame makes sense? No, sir, I did not get your question. Srinivas, if you can just phrase it a little better. Srinivas is saying, order flow chart has all types such as cash, futures and options plotted. Yes. As long as you have bid and ask data for that instrument, it can be plotted. Ankit is saying Richard Wyckoff was a tape reader. So basically we can say he was basically a order flow reader in a sense. But do you believe that he made all his decisions by looking at the tape? I urge you to read his books. I urge you to read books by Jesse Livermore. And you will understand that it was not just tape reading. If you read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, you will understand Jesse Livermore started as a tape reader, but he used to trade in bucket shops where it was a digital kind of an order. And he was trying to predict what the next order will be, not the direction of the markets. And by the time you end the book, his whole emphasis has shifted from tape reading to general conditions. Please read the book. It's a gold mine of information. That transformation, if you can feel, will change your life as a trader. So I understand that these guys did highlight tape reading, but they understood that tape reading is just a small part of their trading and not the whole trading. I hope when you read through their works, you will be able to understand this point. Sridhar is saying, can we identify whether the breakout is true or false based on order flow? There are people who claim they can do that. But even if you are using an order flow chart, the probability of catching a successful breakout is same as you will do it on a bar chart. So why use order flow charts? Because order flow chart should not be used to predict a breakout or to spot a breakout. Breakout, like traditional sense, like prices nicely moving out of a range or of a resistance, that kind of breakout has very low probability of succeeding, and very few such breakouts work, and the ones that work has sufficient amount of context built into it before the breakout happened. So just by looking at an order flow or a daily bar chart, you can have a fair idea of whether a breakout will sustain or not. And then while that context was setting up, if you use order flow chart, it will help you. But if you want me to answer that, okay, there is a resistance, prices broke out, there are stacked buyers and sellers, this will help you predict that breakout is going to sustain, I don't think so. Abhishek is saying, can we relate tape reading to charts? Well, have you done tape reading? I mean, I have never done tape reading. So apart from like watching that, what market depth window very closely, I could never understand how people can make sense of that flashing pieces of information. The order flow charts help you a great deal with that. You don't need to do tape reading at all. Suresh is saying, what is tape reading? Well, tape reading in earlier days was to look at, it was a flow of executed orders. Even then it was closer to what today's order flow charts are rather than, watching the pending orders. It was a flow of executed orders. All right. And based on that, they would try to understand what, whether the smart money is coming in or not, all those kinds of things. Mohan is saying shakeout and upthrust can be found, sir. Again, you are trying to do something which I am trying so hard to explain to you that you should not do. You are trying to find out shakeout and upthrust as if all shakeouts and upthrust will give you great trades. And if you can just confirm it with order flow, you will become the most profitable trader in the world. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. Almost all shakeouts and upthrust will form similar patterns on an order flow chart, yet half of them will fail. How will you determine which one to trade, which one not to? The only thing that will happen is you will find a shakeout, you will see some pattern forming an order flow chart. It will increase your confidence by 2, 3, 4 times that you have found a correct trade. You will leverage on that trade and that trade will hit your stop loss. Then who will you blame? Upthrust shakeouts or order flow chart? Please understand, it does not work like that. You might feel that Dean is saying nothing works, then how are we supposed to trade? You can trade, you will take profitable positions. But these, you have to separate action points from information points, and you have to use these tools at the correct moment. And we will discuss everything. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you with half information. And I'm not running away. That is why I have kept that 6-month membership for you. The reason is I want to feel accountable. I don't want you to feel that Dean took that intensive and now he's off on a big vacation, not answering our queries and anything. Don't want to be like that. I want to start a relationship. I don't want a fling, okay, where we just stay together for 3 days or 1 month and then nobody knows who was there, who was not. We are going to be there for 6 more months. I will answer all of your questions and we will be able to find trading opportunities without putting undue pressure on our minds of whether this upthrust will succeed, whether this shakeout will succeed. Shall I look at the order flow chart or not? Order flow is telling this. What should I do now? You will go beyond all these things. Don't worry. Just have faith, okay, and follow the process. All right. Moving on. More questions. Please have faith. All right, I understand this might be difficult for you, because till yesterday I was having a positive kind of attitude or statements to make, but here I will be happy if you decide not to use order flow after this course rather than using it incorrectly. All right, because I understand the pain of losing money, by misusing the tools, and then we end up blaming tools or ourselves or 100 other things, but never take responsibility for our trading mistakes. So I am trying my best to keep you from making those mistakes. All right, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. That is why all this is happening. Sanjay sir is saying, no, sir, understood many things. That is a positive takeaway for me. Srinivas is saying, any way to make out type of orders, whether future or option? No, I did not understand, Srinivas. What exactly are you trying to say here? Arvind is saying, on different notes, or Rajendran's MP chart today on Twitter, he did not have free coupon. Need to figure out which data. He might be using global data feeds. He is a fan of global data feeds. Actually, I was using till last year, but I think there was some offer from True Data, and I, got that. Or was it? I don't know. I don't remember why I am using True Data, but it is working okay. Now those freak trade problem is there. Some data providers have a program that runs in the background which filters out freak trades. All right, even broker terminals have that, so it might be that reason. Suresh is saying, I think tomorrow we will have more questions. Yeah, not a problem. Abhishek is saying, Dean, it helped a lot to unlearn myths of order flow. Yes, and by the time we finish this, you will see order flow in a totally new light. At least that's what I hope. All right. All right, guys. So I think it was a lot to take in. Obviously, you did not expect, maybe you did not expect this kind of a session, but it was necessary. At least I believe it was absolutely essential that I have this video in this order flow course. And from tomorrow, obviously, we will start going into details. But with this background, you will look at the details in the correct light. All right. Okay. Srinivas is saying, from order flow chart, can one make out the type of order? Well, you have again asked this question. What do you mean by type of order, Srinivas? I'm not getting your question. Whether future or option? No, again, I am not understanding. Abhishek is saying, one general question. Now the VIX is very low, and options premium are also affected. In such a case, shall we wait? Well, nobody says that low VIX cannot stay low for extended period of time. Sometimes market enters a zone where the VIX stays very, very low. And given the fact that we are just trading a 7-day cycle, all right, if you have sufficient space in between your short strikes and the current market price, even a sudden rise in VIX won't help that much. Okay. In fact, if VIX increases, you will have higher premiums and higher time value, and you can use that higher time value to again create short option positions, credit spreads, because the days to expiry are very, very low. So very quickly, if it rises even, it will fall back. So, but if you are talking about holding like monthly series and all, in that case, low VIX and sudden moves and increase in VIX can affect option premiums. Yes, some people, Nilesh is saying, some people are marketing order flow as the machine gun of market. Well, I don't have to criticize them. Just talk to the people who believe all those things. Not immediately, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 months after what they have learned, and you will get the picture. All right. Arvind is saying, I read somewhere that market going down on low VIX is pretty bad because it means no one is interested in buying. Yeah, this is very, very important. There is an old saying that market can fall under its own weight. And when that happens, it is very, very bad. Mohan is saying, sir, I used order flow wrongly and lost many trades, and some mentors are charging 1 lakh to teach order flow and suggest to take trades. But the way you are teaching the concepts, it is amazing and no words. Well, we haven't started yet, Mohan. That's what I'm saying. I it's like discovering a radioactive element. Okay. See, let's say I discover a new radioactive element. I am not going to go and sit besides that or hug it. Even though I have discovered it, I would like my name to be given to that element. I will try to stay as far away from that element as possible. My discovery of order flow is something like that. I understand its radioactive properties, and that means it will destroy you as a trader and your trading. But if you use it properly, if you harness its power correctly, a very small amount of radioactive material can solve problems for such a big part of the society if it is used correctly, right? That is the whole point here. I want you to use and manage order flow correctly and not get hurt by its destructive properties. Venkatesh is saying, Dean, this is out of order flow topic question. You mentioned that you have very less equity exposure for long term investment. Is there any particular reason, sir? Is it that good trades are enough to build more wealth than long term investment? That is what I would like to believe. But I firmly believe that either you trade liquid instruments or you buy mutual funds. So the best option is to trade liquid instruments, make profits, and buy mutual funds. All right. But trying to buy shares, okay, I don't have the skill set or understanding. I can probably look at a chart and predict that this share will go up for next 2 years or 3 years, and it might happen. But again, that is not my time frame. I don't know the variables that come in that time frame. And the Adam Smith, who is credited with giving birth to the field called as economics. Okay, Adam Smith is called as a father of economics. He always made a very, very funny statement, and it's very true. And he always used to say that in the long term, we are all dead. So, like, how long is long? So, that is why I try to trade smaller time frames. But if I want to do it, invest for a longer time frame, I would prefer a mutual fund with at least 200 to 500 stocks in the portfolio. As simple as that. Sridhar is saying, when is your options course, sir? I am eagerly waiting because I am new to it, not understanding spreads at all. Don't force yourself. We will do it. Now that I see the kind of interest people are showing, I believe once I come back from the holidays, I will start working on the course. Right? So, but still, it is 1 month away. And then also, I have to conduct this intensive in Hindi because there are so many people who probably will shoot me if I don't conduct this in Hindi anytime soon. They have been requesting this for such a long time. I don't want to test their patience anymore. But don't worry, I will try to squeeze in this options workshop also sooner than later. Right?